What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Playmates Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original sketch turtles. So we have all four here in this newer design, of course based off the original sketches. So we'll start with like Leonardo here, of course celebrating the 40th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we have the turtles in these little weird designs, but if we spin around to the back, we can see the original sketch there. So part of the very first design of the four turtles and what this is going to be based off, obviously in color where this is in black and white. And then we do also get pictures on the box of the original sketch turtles. So each of the creators of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird designed their own version of the turtles. I feel that's the Laird version, I can't remember exactly. And then we have the Eastman version there where they look a little bit old and fatter and stuff. So we get those two versions where it's then like take both of those, mix them together, they get the turtles we see here for this set. So again, that's what it's based off and looks pretty cool. And there's a little bit of history of the Ninja Turtles, so if you want to see that. So very cool. So we have Leonardo there, looks pretty nice. Of course, they like how they added the colors, with the colors we know to make them stand out a little bit more. And we will get a little display scene so we can put them all together and a little like display all posed up very similar to that picture there on the back. So we got Leonardo, of course Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. So they all will come with their signature weapons. Of course, some extra stuff like Raphael comes with a sword as well. And then as you see in the front here, they all come with an ooze canister that has the ability to hold a picture because they each will come with that picture that was on the back of the box. So it can hold that as well. So all these look pretty cool and unique, and we'll look at each design. They'll all be relatively the same, obviously, just in the different colors. So I'll do the usual Ninja Turtles where we look at one fully and then just the accessories and stuff that comes with each of the others. So let me go and get these open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So here we have our four turtles, and they were created in the 1980s by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird of short, squat turtles standing on their back legs using martial arts weapons, which is what we have here. And as I've said, they are the original sketch turtles from that picture on the box, and I will show you that because it does come with a picture in the box. But we got all four turtles here of Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Now these specifically, like I said, with the picture and everything, they're black and white, but they color these more to look like the cartoon ones, so especially with Playmates, made them more like the design, so each turtle has their own individual color that matches with their original toys. And then of course have their headbands where they would all be red in the comics. They have the colored headbands for each turtle as well. But since we have four identical turtles here, we'll start with our usual ones and do Leonardo first, which looks pretty decent overall. Of course, these are weird proportioned turtles and everything, so they have these weird heads, so you can see each one's gonna of course have the different like mouth designs as they usually do. So he's got more closed on one side, open on the other, with the turtle mouth or like point of the turtle mouth sort of coming down, hanging over the front of the mouth there. But then has the blue headband with his white eyes on there, with the headband sort of tied in the back with his green skin. So he does have this darker green skin, almost like a dark army green or whatever, so that goes around, and there is a little bit of texture to it as you can see as well. But as you can also see, he's got big proportions, so he does have big hands as well as big fat feet there. So we have 3 fingers on his hands and 2 toes on the feet, but I like how they almost sort of come out to point almost like claws, but have like the nail design onto them as well. Then we get the turtle shell, so they have this big round belly shape for them with these shells on the back, and I believe each of the shells should be different colors again like the older toys are. And he has the strap going around his waist with the slots there to be able to store his swords on the back, so that's nice. Love the little bit of shading there on the turtle shell. Has his tail hanging down between his legs, and then his legs, like I said, coming from skinny into the fatter legs with the knee pads and elbow pads on it, again in each of the turtle's signature colors. For movements, we do get the heads that will twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far. So we do have a hinge joint there that'll rock back and forth, so you do get some movements. You can look down more and look up a little bit there. Then we go to the shoulders that do hinge up, so they can come up there really high, which is nice, and rotate all the way around. Then we get the elbow joint, so we just have a little elbow joint with a hinge in there, so it'll hinge back and forth, but it can also twist around, so we do get a twist in there as well. And then the wrist itself does have a twist, so it'll twist all the way around, so you can get some better movements with that. Then we go down to the legs that do have some movements at the hips, so it can move forward. Of course, with the shell design, it's more out to the side there, and you can go back a little as well, but no out to the side or anything, so just back and forth. Then down to the knee with the single knee joint, it's a little bit stiff there. It can bend back pretty close to 90 actually, and again it has the rotation in it, so the lower leg can rotate as well wherever you need it to help get it to stand up. And that's really all the movements that it has, which is pretty nice. It's got all the movements that he needs, a little bit better movements than the other Playmate or normal Playmate turtles, I should say, so that is nice overall, and it seems to work out. And of course all 4 turtles are going to be exactly the same. Now with each turtle we get their signature weapon. So of course for Leonardo we gotta have his 2 katanas. So we get the katanas in the sheaths there, which one has this extra little peg piece so you can paint in the back. Now I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to work out, like if you're supposed to put the shorter one in here and then the longer peg one in this longer piece, and then you can sort of get them to cross over there. I'm not sure again exactly what you're supposed to do. We can just store them on the back there like that for now. But then with that we can take these swords out, so we get our katana swords, which is nice. They have these nice long handles. I don't like how they're sort of curved there, but you know, that's the way that they are made, with the gold tips at the end of them. And then we get the katana blades, and with these we can put them into their hands. So there's Leonardo with the katanas in his hands, of course, just sort of putting them in there. You can obviously sort of pose it up and pose it up like the picture if you want as well, but there he just has his 2 swords, which look really nice. And just for comparison, I do have the other Playmates turtles, especially the Mirage version that they released. Obviously you can see there's going to be a height difference here, but this is just more like what we see normally, but again based more off the Mirage comics. And you can see some inspiration, so they do have like the mouthpiece or nose, whatever, that does come down a little bit further and have the fatter legs as well. So again, this is more what we see with the Ninja Turtles, and of course these ones will be colored like the show ones as well, so all the different color bandanas and everything. But there we get a more like accurate version to what we normally see compared to the sketch version, but I think the sketch looks really nice. And speaking of sketch, we do get it with every single figure, so I only show this once. We do get this sketch, and they do come with a little canister of ooze that has a slot that you can store that sketch in, so it'll be a nice little picture to hold it up. So again, we got Leonardo here in the front with Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello there. So like I said, if we want, we can eventually pose this all up with the little display that we'll get with this as well. So pretty nice to have that sketch to go along with the turtles. But there we've got Leonardo with his 2 katanas now. And next up we have Raphael, which obviously is going to be the same for body and all that, just different colors. So he's more of this lighter green. He's the lightest color out of all the turtles, with his red headband, elbow pads, and no knee pads on him. I think Leonardo's the only one that has the knee pads, which is kind of unique for him. We get the turtle shell there on the back, so we have a little slot that we can store stuff because he comes with an extra weapon for some reason. But then we get the holes in the front for his size as well, which is going to be nice. And since we don't need to do the body review because it's going to be exact like Leonardo, like I said, the only difference is that he doesn't have the knee pads. None of the other 2 turtles will either, just Leonardo. But we'll go with weapons. So first, for some reason, Raphael comes with a sword also, so exactly like Leonardo's, just with a red handled sword this time. And we can store this onto his back, so you can just store it there so he has that sword accessible if we want it. But we'll give him his signature size instead with the red grips on him. So obviously, like I said, we can store them on his belt there, so it has the nice little slots we can slide these into, so like that. But let's put him in his hand. So there's Raphael with his 2 sizes looking nice as usual. And for the comparison, here is that Mirage version Raphael as well. So seeing the difference in the size comparison, but looks very nice for this version of Raphael. Just he comes with that sword for some reason. And next up we've got Michelangelo. Now he has pretty dark green skin, so it's like a dark bluish green, or has a little bit of blue tint to it as well. But we get his orange band, so we get his orange headband. Love his angry face on there. We get the elbow pads, again no knee pads, but he also has these extra little slots like bands on his wrist to be able to hold his nunchucks, because on the original sketches the turtles had little bands on their arms to hold them on there. So that's cool that they included it with this. And no belt around his waist or anything for Michelangelo, but looks pretty nice overall. Again, just different color design for the body. And we can give him his weapon, so again we get the pair of nunchucks there. So we'll try to put them in his arm first, just so you can see that. So there they are strapped to his arm, so again nice little storage space for him instead of around the belt. But now that we have that, we'll just go and put him in his hand. So there Michelangelo has the nunchucks. So again, they just sort of dangle out of his hand, but it's nice that they have like the actual chain material there, so that's pretty nice and will hold up well over time. And then we can bring in the Playmates Mirage Turtles there of Michelangelo. So again, I like this one a lot more with the weapons and stuff especially, so pretty nice overall for that. And again, another good version of Michelangelo. And that leaves us, of course, with my favorite of Donatello. Now, his skin, I never like his. Like, his is almost brown here. Like, it's almost like a chocolate color. Just the really dark green and brown color. But has the nice purple band. Again, even the purple is a little too dark for me, but purple band and elbow pads. Then he has the strap that goes up over his shell around the back there. So a slot to hold his bow staff. And, of course, everything else normal like the other turtles, just in that much darker color. And he, of course, comes with his bow staff that we can slide in the back here first, just the store. So he'll store on his back just like that. so store it back there, or we can put it into his hand. And now I don't know if you noticed about this, that the wrappings are more to one end, so it's more towards this end, so kind of want to put it more towards that end, so let's put it in his hand that way. So there's Donatello with the bow staff ready to fight, and we have the Playmates version as well. So there's the difference. Of course, I love the brightness more of this version of Donatello than this dark brown version, but still looks nice overall, and nice to add him in with our collection as well. Now with each of the turtles, we did also get a piece of a display base, so we get each one. So Leonardo came with this piece. It's just got a piece of like ground, so almost like street. So we had a little sewer grate there, and then a peg off, so we can put them all on. They'll each have this. Raphael and Donatello came with the same plate, so you just get basic ground, nothing really fancy, just a peg for each one. And then Michelangelo came with a box and a board on top of it, so a peg there. And I do think, yeah, you can take the box off and sort of do that. Of course, it's just a weird piece, but it does have that option. And with all these pieces, we can connect them together to make a scene. So it'll make a little display base like this, and we can put the turtles on it. And I don't know if I should or not, but the turtles do have little spots on the bottom of their feet, so you can put them on this, obviously put them on the pegs there. So there we got all 4 of our turtles now on display, with Leonardo leading, being flanked by Raphael and Donatello, with Michelangelo there in the back up on the box. So pretty cool for that. And like I said, you can actually get them or messed around with to recreate this picture if you want. So again, with Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo there. Of course, you can't get it like Michelangelo to spin the blades on, but you can get the turtles to hold the weapons like they do there, and that would be pretty cool overall to recreate that. But the 4 of them just standing here does look pretty cool as well. So nice to add another thing of Ninja Turtles to our collection, of course, with these Playmates version of the original sketches, which have these weird little designs, you know, not the designs they actually went with, but have nice designs with the bigger hands and feet, and of course have the nice colors that were used more from the cartoon Playmates versions, but just really nice looking figures altogether, and have nice movements, especially compared to all the other Playmates turtles. So really nice to add these to the collection. So let me know what you thought of these 4 down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.